excitement occasioned by Lord Oakenfist's return was palpable. The halls of the Red Keep and the alleyways of Flea Bottom brimmed with debate as to what Lord Alyn's prize from lease entailed. Was it gold, or the head of an enemy of the crown? Plus, for those around the Red Keep, it was clear to all that the hand, unwin peake, grew more sour as the days passed closer to the return of Lord Alyn and his prize. All the hand could do was seethe and brood, and try to scheme his way out of his decline in favour. When the Lady Baela's sails were first seen across the waters of Blackwater Bay, with the rest of the Velaryon fleet appearing from the morning mist behind her, every bell in King's Landing commenced to toll in celebration that only served to drum up the excitement to a fever pitch. Thousands crowded onto the city walls to cheer the hero, just as they had at Lannisport half a year before, after the demise of the Red Kraken, whilst thousands more rushed out the river gate to line the shores in the hopes of catching a glimpse. But when the king expressed a wish to go to the docks, to thank my good brother for his service, the hand forbade it, insisting it would not be fitting for his grace to go to Lord Velaryon, that the admiral must come to the Red Keep to abase himself before the Iron Throne and the king. What happened next made it clear to all that the hand had begun to lose his grip on the boy he once commanded at will. In this matter, and in matters of Aegon's betrothal to Mariella Peake to the king, Lord Unwin found himself overruled by the other regents, as well as the boy king himself. Over his strenuous objections, King Aegon and the new Queen Rhaenyra Velaryon descended from the castle in their litter, accompanied by Lady Baela and her newborn daughter, her sister, Lady Rhaenyra, with her lord husband, Corwin Corbray, Redmaester Munkin, Sir Tim Bernard, the regents, Manfred Mouton and Thaddeus Rowan, the knights of the King's Guard, and many other notable, eager to meet Lady Baela at the docks, also attended. The morning was bright and cold and brisk, the chronicles tell us, but none the less, the excitement in the city was palpable. There, before the eyes of tens of thousands, Lord Oakenfist beheld his daughter, Laena, for the first time. After kissing his lady wife, he took the child from her and held her high for all the crowd to see, as the cheers fell like thunder, much to the visible annoyance of the hand, unwin peake. Only then did he return the girl to her mother and bend his knee before his brother-in-law, the king, and the new Queen Rhaenyra, blushing prettily and stammering just a little, pointed out, hung about Alyn's neck, a heavy golden chain studded with sapphires, blue as the sea, where my lord has won his victories, she said. Then King Aegon III bade his admiral and brother-in-law to rise with the words, "We are glad to have you safe and home, my brother." Mushroom says that the Oakenfist was laughing as he climbed back to his feet with a sly, knowing grin on his face. "Sire," he replied, "you have honoured me with your sister's hand in marriage, and thus also given me my daughter, Laena, and I am proud to be your brother by marriage, as any man here surely would be. Yet I can never be your brother by blood. A bond of blood runs deeper than any other, and cannot be replaced once lost. But there is one who is your blood." Then, with a flamboyant, seemingly well-practised gesture, Lord Alyn summoned forth the treasure he had brought from Lys. Down from the Lady Baela emerged a pale young woman of surprising beauty, arm in arm with a richly clad boy, near about the king's own age, beard slightly younger, his features hidden beneath a cowl of his rich embroidered cloak. Lord unwin peake could no longer contain himself and broke with anger. The hand barged his way through the small crowd, gathered to meet Alyn, pushing past the King's Guard, as he did to the alarm and confusion of those around him. A murmur began to spark among the larger crowds, be it for the hand's brash intrusion, or for the mysterious couple stood before them, we do not know. "Who is this?" the Lord Unwin demanded, harshly, pushing forward even further towards this strange boy. "Who are you?" The boy threw back his cowl. As the sunlight glittered on the silver gold hair beneath, King Aegon III began to weep, throwing himself up upon the boy in a fierce embrace. Oakenfist's treasure was Viserys Targaryen, the king's lost younger brother, the youngest son of Queen Rhaenyra and Prince Daemon, presumed dead since the Battle of the Gullet and missing for nigh on to 5 years. The crowd was in a stunned silence, where many not even being able to process the events they had just witnessed. But slowly, as word spread among them, they let out a huge cheer. Lord Unwin lost all colour from his face at once when Viserys revealed himself, while the king embraced his brother, and Lord Alyn, who had brought him home, and the regents hastily made their way towards the king and his brother, Lord Peake stood alone, broken, shocked, and silent, trapped in nothing but his own thoughts, maybe perhaps scheming how he could possibly turn these unprecedented events to his own means, as his grip on power became ever looser. But the question that pressed most on his mind, and on the mind of all in attendance, from the small folk to the highborn, was how Prince Viserys stood before them when he certainly perished during the Dance of the Dragons. And in truth, what really happened to Prince Viserys is far more interesting and a fascinating tale than any speculation could conjure.